another episode with me, Tyler, at Killarney Lake Boatworks. We're going to just talk about a few things. We're going to go through some testing and seeing what these peak varnishes are performing like. So I got right here is Epifane. Everyone knows about it. Pretty good wicked product. It's expensive. Interlux, well known, been around forever. Interlux original. We're just to talk about what I think, from my opinions of working with these products. So, Interlux, great product, good price. When you're using it, it sprays on pretty decent. It layers pretty good. You have to do a lot of it because it's pretty thin. Epifane, less coats, goes on thick, has a really vibrant shine to it. The only issue I find between these two products are, this takes longer to cure for the Epifane. Interlux cures faster. Interlux has a harder kind of coat to it, versus Interlux is kind of more of a softer, if I can describe it, it's almost like it's more of like a plastic finish, and it takes a lot longer for this to cure. But in long term, this doesn't hold up as long as this product does. This on average goes for, if you can catch it on sale, it could be anywhere from $25 to $38. Epifane starts anywhere from $45 to $60. A lot of the stuff that I've done with Epifane, it's still going. It's been like 5-6 years and it still looks good. Interlux, you kind of, over time with the sun, it gets kind of this like flaking, I call it. It's where it yellows and it lifts off the wood. Just with time, the varnish just doesn't hold up to the UV. Now, Epifane does advertise that it is extra UV resistant. Interlux doesn't really advertise that on the original. So we're gonna go move into our test to see what kind of finishes these two products produce. Okay, so I got these marked out. This one is gonna be Epifane, it's marked off Epifane, and this one is gonna be marked off Interlux Original. So right here, I have opened up the Interlux Original, and I have a can of Epifane. Okay, so we're gonna just do a test. So just looking at this at the top, when we see these ones have been opened up, you see how Epifane has more of an amber finish versus the Interlux is less of an amber finish. So these pieces of mahogany are just normal Philippine mahogany. No stain on them yet, just to see what the raw form product looks like. So we're going to start with the Interlux Original. And like as we talked about before, the Interlux Original takes more coats for it to build up to get that really nice finish. It can get it, but it takes a lot of coats, so a lot of time. So there's the Interlux. We're just going to put a little bit more on, and we get that beautiful mahogany look right now coming out on the wood. Natural finish. And yeah, so that is for Interlux right now. So now we're going to go into the Epifane. So as I just put in, you can see just the viscosity of the varnish is definitely thicker, and it's got more of a thicker coat to it. It does advertise that it goes on in less coats. We're just going to put this right on top. See, it just goes almost like a molasses on it. Oh, and keep on going. When I'm varnishing, and if I'm varnishing by hand, I like to use like a pure bristle brush, or I like to use a foam brush. And make sure that you're going with the grain when you're doing a varnishing coat. So a little bit more on it, just to see, like that. Wow, look at that product. You can just see when I'm dragging it, and just we pay attention kind of with the light on the angle, the Interlux is still thinner versus it looks like I've done almost like 3 coats with the Epifane. Looking at it from the color, the when you're looking directly down on it, it almost looks like it's 2 different species of wood, even though it's cut from the same piece of wood. The Epiphane, like I said, has that beautiful natural amber. But going back to like what we talked about, like just looking at the difference between the two, just like natural colors and the thickness. Yeah, so we'll let this sit and dry, but I don't expect it really to change much for what it is right now. Next thing we're going to talk about is Sandusky stain. So we're going to talk about Sandusky stain. This is the Chris-Craft Mahogany Stain Filler. 9603 is the one that I preferably use with, you know, kind of like 1950s, 1940s Chris-Crafts. Get that really nice, beautiful red, you know, Honduras / Philippine mahogany look. I find that they have the best color to use. So we're gonna go and we're gonna just go experiment with this. This is just a random piece of mahogany. We get some of this stain. We're gonna put this on. Oh, making a little bit of a mess. But as you see, I'm applying it. What's going on? It's a little bit thicker or wet right now because put some thinner in it to thin it out a bit. And that's her right there. So get her smoothed out a bit like that, and yeah, let her dry and come back and take a look at her. But yeah, that's kind of like the red. We're gonna just pick it up. Well, it's just drying a little bit, but it's kind of like more of a darker red. When you put some Epifane on it or Interlux, it will just pop out at you. Right on. Sandusky stain, it's got that nice red Chris-Craft stain color to it. If I splash some Epifane on it with the nice amber or the Interlux, it'll make it pop more. Looking at the 2 stains here, we got the Interlux and we got the Epifane. And I would say this has about 3 coats on it. This has about 3 coats. Just looking at it, like this Epifane has more of a pop, more of a shine. I would probably have to go 6 to 7 coats to match this 3 coats with Epifane versus the Interlux. Okay, right over here, we got our Epifane, we got our Interlux, and we got our Sandusky stain. Okay, so the Interlux has 3 coats on it, and the Epifane's got 3 coats on it. Just from my observation right here looking at it, the Epifane looks fantastic. It's got a lot of pop to it. The Interlux is good. It needs more coats. So just keep this rule of thought. If you're going to do whatever you do for this, like 3, it's going to be about 6 coats for this to get the same coats as the Epifane. Okay, going back to the Sandusky stain, it's got a beautiful, nice red, you know, Chris-Craft color to it. If I were to splash some Epifane on it, or if I were to put some Interlux on it, it's going to get that nice pop to it, okay? So these 2 products right here, the Interlux and the Epifane, I order those from thebinnacle.com. And they have a Canadian retailer out of Nova Scotia. And so if I can kick some money over to a Canadian small business, I will. Sandusky stain, to get this beautiful Chris-Craft stain, I usually order it out of Classic Boat Connections out of Minnesota. They're really knowledgeable guys. They know their products. They restore boats too. So you can kind of like pick their brains about different products, what they have, and they usually use their products. A lot of businesses who sell products don't really know much about it. They don't know how it works, how to apply it properly, okay? So overall, the Epiphane, the Interlux, I like both of them. That's the stain I like, the Sandusky. I've seen a lot of people use a bunch of different types of gross stains. Minwax. The Minwax is a garbage stain. Don't put it on a boat. Doesn't hold up. Okay, go with an actual marine application. Going back to the Sandusky has like a filler base to it. So make sure you shake it up good. I like to put a little bit of paint thinner in it sometimes to just make that filler break up a bit. You know, break it up with a nice stir stick. Overall, I think it was a good experiment. I love doing science, and I hope you guys appreciated this video. My name is Tyler. I'm with Killarney Lake Boatworks. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and on TikTok and on our YouTube page. Thanks.